Between the Star Chaser event seeming to be way more difficult than it should be, ranked lobbies only having 2 to 3 players in it, even though there are supposed to be tons of players, and you actually had a full match last game, and the clocks that seem to spawn not only in multiplayer but in bots, causing you to lose your games. With all that and more, it kind of makes you wonder, are Disney Speedstorm matches rigged? Today, that's what we're going to talk about. In Disney Speedstorm, there are 2 types of modes. You have the modes where you play with bots, and then you have the modes where you play in multiplayer. We're going to focus on the bots, and we're going to come back to multiplayer in a second. The modes that you usually will have are limited events and season tours. Limited events are designed to give you characters, materials, coins, basically things you don't want to pay for. Season tour is basically the same thing, except there is a progression to it. Now, one thing you may notice when you challenge bots and you're under leveled, there is one character that's just really fast. Like to the point where they are just so fast, you blink and they are just miles ahead of you. Now you might be thinking, well, that's just because I'm under level. But ask yourself this, if you're under level by 2, 3, 4 levels, right? And you level yourself up, you don't actually level your speed up. So if you're leveling up your combat, if you're leveling up your boost, if you're leveling up your acceleration, how does that make my racer faster? So this begs to ask the question, do you have hidden stats when you level up your character? When you start up your character, all your stats increase, I'm pretty sure. But when you level up your character, it shows you what increases. So how does leveling up my character make me keep up with those guys when I'm not increasing my speed? Another thing you'll notice is the amount of aggression. When you are under leveled, they are really aggressive. Like they are trying to take your head off. But when you level up, you'll start to notice they're playing worse and worse. They aren't using items properly. They aren't using abilities properly. They are running into wall. Like you have a lot of like dumbing down of bots when you get to a higher level. But when you're under leveled, it seems like all the bots are Robocops. Everything hits, everything is used perfectly. And again, it kind of just feeds into the fact of like the bots are getting dumber as we level more, which doesn't make sense. We're supposed to level up to keep up with the bots, not for them to play worse. That also leads me to my next point, ramming. When I'm under leveled, I'm getting rammed by things that should not stun me, but they do. Tricksters have one of the worst combat stats, and when you usually ram with a trickster, you don't stun. However, when I'm under leveled even by 1, I am getting spun around by tricksters. I don't know if this is a glitch, I don't know if this is intended, but that's not how it's supposed to be designed. So all that stems from being underleveled and overleveled. But what about the regulated mode? When you're doing the Star Chaser events for the characters, those modes are regulated. Regulated means we are all the same level. That being said, when I'm the same level of a bot in any other mode, the race is just pretty easy. Why is a regulated Star Chaser event seeming to be way more harder than it should be? The characters are faster, they're way more aggressive, they seem to just use items like crazy. Now, I consider myself a decent player. However, I've lost a Star Chaser event before. Now, I'm not saying I lost because I got stunned. No, I actually lost this race because someone just was faster. I didn't hit anything. I was using items, I was using boosts. However, it seemed like the bot was just always a few inches ahead of me. Again, this would make sense if all regulated bot matches were the same, or all same level bot matches were the same, but it's not. So now that we talked all about the bots, let's actually talk about multiplayer. To start, you're having 3 to 4 person lobbies, even though the match that you had before was a full lobby. On top of that, I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of the times the person you're going against has higher NPR. Usually people with higher NPR might have higher leveled racers or higher starred racers. So there's a couple of things wrong with this equation. First of all, if I was in a full lobby last match, why am I not in this one? Second of all, why is the NPR of the person that I'm going against way higher than mine? Third of all, why does this seem to happen more when I'm winning than when I'm losing? Is the game saying you're winning too much, we need to knock you down a peg? Is the game saying you're winning too much without upgrading, so we're gonna need you to start buying materials or upgrading your racer? Like, what is really going on here? Another thing that happens in higher ranked lobbies is you're losing way more points than if you win. Basically, you'll get to a point where you'll lose 60 points for a loss. But when you win, you only get 40. This number actually fluctuates for like no reason. Now you could be saying, well, you get more and you lose more based on how many players in the lobby. I've actually seen that with a full lobby, the points still fluctuate. This is not a win rate thing, so why are points fluctuating? It should be the same amount of points no matter what. Again, something's not really adding up. So everything we just talked about, if we put all that together, why would events that give us free characters or really good materials be harder? Don't they want us to get free stuff? Why would multiplayer matches be harder? Why would they want us to lose? Don't they want us to continue to play and climb up the ladder depending on how good we are? I'm pretty sure you were able to conclude the answer in your head, but one of the things that always comes to mind is that if the game is hard, players will tend to spin to make it easier. If there are unseen obstacles that are presented to you and you understand the best way to get over those obstacles would be to star up your racer or upgrade your racer, then by giving you more obstacles, you then start thinking, I'm gonna need to do this more often. And if you are out of materials or you don't have enough shards, what are you most likely gonna do? Well, I can get the character, but I can't win. But I really want this character. Oh, and there's the packs too for the character. If I can't win the race, but the packs are in the shop. So this brings us all the way back to the question that I asked in the beginning of this video. Are Disney Speedstorm matches rigged? Both bot matches and multiplayer matches. Are they stacked against you unless you are an extremely good player? Well, honestly, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on the matter. But I want to read what you guys think in the comments below. So make sure you comment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know some of the struggles you guys might be going through, whether it's multiplayer, whether it's bots. Are you guys having trouble with Star Chaser? I mean, I just want to know. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe. That way you're notified for the next video. And until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you guys for doing what? Popping off then. We're off.